All right, what's up, pedalheads? It's your main man, Eddie Monster here, welcoming you all to another exciting edition of Eddie's Top 5. That's right, we've got a new episode for all of you out there in the rock and metal world. We hope you are enjoying these. I do my best to come up with as much content as possible, so you know what's coming next. With that being said, if you could click that subscribe button, I would greatly appreciate it. This one in particular is probably the easiest top 5 that I've ever done. It to me was a no-brainer. The only thing that I could say is that I easily could switch my number 1 and my number 2, but I'm okay with what I decided. It may seem typical, the top 3 may seem typical. You probably are going to guess that it's probably predictable, but there's no arguing with it, what the top 3 Slayer albums are of all time. But with that being said, I'm going to give you my honorable mentions right now. So, honorable mentions means they're probably like 6 and 7 on the list, but they didn't make the top 5, and that's Show No Mercy, which is an amazing first record in my opinion, very underrated, and then Christ Illusion, which was the first record that featured Dave Lombardo when he came back to Slayer in the 2000s. So, now let's get to our top 5, all right? And coming in at number 5, I don't know if it'll surprise a lot of you. I really, really enjoyed this record. There was just something about it, and I know it's the first one without Jeff in the group, but Repentless to me was like, I just thought it was off the charts, just amazing from beginning to end. I mean, the title track that kicks it off, Cast the First Stone, which was, I believe, either the first or second single that was released on the record. And then, tracks like Chasing Death, Vices, Piano Wire. I love the album. It was good, in my opinion. So I put it at number 5. Number 4, God Hates Us All, which is technically speaking, is the first Slayer record that I ever truly listened to, right? Before this point, I never had listened to Slayer in my life. I had heard, obviously, songs here and there, like Angel of Death, when it was in the Gremlins 2 soundtrack during the film. I had heard, other songs because my brother was a huge Slayer fan, so I knew of them, but I never had listened to them, and even had seen them at Ozfest, and it was during the Diabolus and Musica tour, but they were, on Ozfest. But this was honestly the first time I had really listened to them, was God Hates Us All, because I loved Bloodline. It was in the Dracula 2000 soundtrack, and I was like hooked, instantly just hooked. And I love it. I mean, Disciples, a great track. God Send Death. Here Comes the Pain. So many great tracks on this record. So that's why I got it at number 4. Number 3. Like I said, if you guessed it, Seasons in the Abyss. The trilogy is going to dominate the top 3. The trilogy. And Seasons in the Abyss, not my favorite of the 3, but obviously these are the top 3 albums, and this is a fucking kick-ass record. Obviously, Slayer for South of Heaven had slowed things down. They told you when they came back with this one, we can speed it back the fuck up with great tracks like, War Ensemble, Expendable Youth. One of my favorite tracks on this whole album, though, Skeletons of Society. I just love when it starts. It just gets so good. But Dead Skin Mask, obviously the track about Ed Gein, fucking awesome. Probably one of the most fun songs. Like, when you work at an amphitheater, I had worked at an amphitheater, and I'll never forget how freaked out my coworkers were when I was singing along lines to Dead Skin Mask. It's fucking great. Anyways, coming in at number 2, South of Heaven. South of Heaven. one of my favorite albums. I love Spill the Blood. One of my it's the closer, but it's just one of my favorite tracks on this record. I love Ghosts of War, obviously Mandatory Suicide. Never forget the first time I ever heard them play that song live, and Tom does that thing, you know, that speech before the song comes on, and I was just like, first time I ever saw him, like, what the fuck is going on? I mean, not to mention the opening video before they hit the stage is like people carving Slayer into their arms, and then like the fire and the open heart surgeries and shit. Like, if they didn't get you at that point, they're definitely gonna get you with the music, and they'll hook you right in. So yeah, so number 2, South to Heaven, and then obviously, come on, you knew it, Rain and Blood, number 1. It's probably one of the greatest thrash records of all time. There's just no argument. Postmortem, Necrophobic, I believe was it Reborn, Criminally Insane, Raining Blood, Angel of Death. I mean, they're just fucking banger after banger. I could like see, like, if they were like, oh, we're gonna play this album in full, I'd be there all day, every day. I don't know how as other bands, if you do go on tour with Slayer, I don't know how you're not out there watching these guys every fucking night. It's incredible. But there you go. That's my top 5. Nothing too complicated here. But let me know in the comments if you agree, and if you do, cool. If you don't, tell me what your top 5 Slayer records are. I'm curious to find out what you guys and how you would rank the albums and what albums you would choose. So I'm kind of curious. So let me know in the comments. And of course, as always, please subscribe to the channel. Hit that subscribe button. I appreciate every single one of you. I try to come up with as much content as I can. So thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you next time. Stay metal.